I was going to school. I was bussing tables at On the Border Tex-Mex restaurant, and I randomly put up my Walmart resume up on Sony Pictures website for like an internship. No movie experience. The next day, I got a call from a producer's office saying, "Yeah, just come on in." So I got an internship within 3 days from Sony. Again, green light, as McConaughey would say.
Green light.
Yeah. So I went there, got it, started working at a producer named Paul Schiff's office. He produced like My Cousin Vinny and Made in Manhattan, like big time movies, had a first look deal at Sony. I was working out of the Fred Astaire building. All of a sudden, going from bussing tables and going to the Art Institute, walking onto the Sony lot every single day. Major opportunity. So I was at his office for 6 months, reading scripts and doing coverage and meeting some great people. Robin Ross, who I have to shout out because she helped me tremendously through that internship. She is now working, I think, at E, doing interviews. Super awesome person. Hi, Robin. Haven't talked to you in like a long time. Got to catch up soon. I'll tell her to watch. And and then so she and I. She became Paul Schiff's assistant, and then he was producing this movie called Date Movie, which was a spoof of romantic comedies.
Oh yeah.
And the two directors, Aaron Seltzer and Jason Friedberg, came into the office once, and then I said to Paul, "Hey Paul, is it all right if I ask them if they needed an assistant for this movie? Is it okay if I like interview to be their assistant, so I can work on the movie set?" And again, taking advantage of an opportunity. And he said, "Yeah, absolutely. You've been here 6 months. You deserve it. Do it." And so I did. And I'll never forget the interview process with those guys ever, because they went into a conference room at Paul's office, sat down in there. I said, "Hey guys, I'd love to be your assistant on this movie." They go, "Oh, we've never had an assistant before. What would an assistant do for us?" Well, and I didn't know. So I was just like, well, I'll manage your meetings throughout pre-production and be there for you in production for whatever you need, and, whatever you need. 2 weeks later, they call me and they say, "Well, we found somebody we like better than you." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem. That's okay." And they're like, "No, man, we're just fucking with you. You got the job. You got it." And then I got to be their assistant on like $20 million movie. That was my first like pro movie gig. Was their assistant on Date Movie, which was, truthfully, I dropped out of school. I had like 2 weeks left to graduate, dropped out.
You dropped out 2 weeks before graduate. Yeah. Were you set to graduate? Like you would have graduated?
Yeah, well, it was maybe like probably more like a month, right? I had like a month left of like a 2.5 year program.
To the very end.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I could have got my associate's degree in film and television production, dropped out, took the gig because it started like in a week. And so then I worked with them, and that was literally the beginning of like a 10-year career with those guys.
Wow. So
I worked on every single one of their movies. That was the first thing they directed, and I worked all the way up until 2015 with them as they're like, getting progressively more responsibility all the way up until a movie called Super Fast, which was a spoof of Fast and Furious franchise. So those guys, I cannot speak enough about how great of family men they are. They are family guys through and through. They love their families, and they carry that sort of respect for everybody on the crew into the filmmaking process. And them and the first AD, Hal Olafson, shout out to Hal, who's now a producer at Netflix, taught me how to be the person you need to be on movie sets. And I say it all the time. I wish I was in real life the person I am on movie sets, because the person I am on movie sets is a much better person responsibility-wise than I am in real life. Like I truthfully say, man, if I could only be as productive, non-procrastinating, go-getter, happy, pleasant, ready to go do anything type of person all the time in real life as I am on movie sets, I would be Steven Spielberg. Like, those guys inspired me and still inspire me about how you treat people and how you respect people and how you run a movie set. And I cannot thank them enough for how much of an opportunity they gave me. Like, truthfully, like they're like my older brothers, and I cherish that opportunity. that I took advantage of. Because by the time I was done with them, I was their co-producer and VFX supervisor. So I had like gone from there, just their one-time assistant, to being a producer on a couple of their movies.